I welcome all of you affectionately to this particular installment of the Heart of the Holy Name. It is my great pleasure to announce to you that we are changing a little bit the format. I will be talking for about half an hour or so, and then I will guide you immediately into an exercise. Upon closer reflection, I have seen that it is good if we spend a little bit more time in the workshop, a little bit more time practicing what we learn in the theoretical section. A little bit more practice will give us an access to what we really wish to attain here in the heart of the Holy Name. As I was coming here to our little studio in the castle, I was thinking, what is it really that a spiritual practitioner needs more than anything else? What is it that is so valuable in our life that it will really take care of all our needs in spiritual life? And the answer to this is clearly an experience. People do things because they get money for it, or other people do things because they feel they have a loving, some loving relationship. In a spiritual life, we don't do things for money. In spiritual life, we also don't do things for the love of the world. We want a higher peace, a peace that the world cannot give. We want a higher love, a love that the world cannot give and also not take. This comes by practicing chanting the Holy Name, where something very real happens in the life of the practitioner. I read just yesterday in Chaitanya Charitamrita a wonderful definition of chanting. Prabhupada says there, chanting the holy name of the Lord immediately renovates the transcendental relationship of the living entity with the Supreme Lord. I like this word renovate. It makes it new, it makes it fresh, and it makes it usable. It makes it functional. More than just a method of sadhana, chanting is a process to renovate or re-establish our relationship. We have heard very often how Prabhupada said what mood should be there for the chanter. He should chant in a relationship, just like a child calling out for the mother. I was talking a few days ago with a very nice devotee who has made great improvements, or let us say great adjustments in his sadhana. And he found out, strangely or not, as he was trying to improve the sadhana, the first thing he noticed is he is really not able to do this. He feels fallen, he feels empty, he feels very, very dry. And he asked me, is something wrong? I thought by taking to the process of spiritual, of japa and of going deep into my chanting of the holy name, I should be immediately in bliss. And instead I feel so much, let us say, waves inside. I feel so much turmoil inside. And I said, well, this is the first sign that something is going on. Now you need to do one thing. You need to know that this is not a technique which you can do on your own. This is about entering into a transcendental relationship, and you need the help of the person you want to relate to. You need the help of the person whose name you are calling. Imagine there is a mother who has 2 children. One is extremely capable. He can drive a car, he can go shopping, he can go and do everything with a computer. And the other child is small. The other child cannot do many things on its own. And for every little thing he asks his mother, "Mother, can you help here?" Or, "Mother, can you tell me this?" To whom of the 2 children is more attention given? To the capable one, who can do everything on its own, or to the one who asked for help? The answer is evident. When you want to enter into a relationship with the Supreme Lord, first of all, know that you cannot do it on your own. You are not that capable person who you may be in the world. Here you are a person absolutely in need of some help, of some divine investment. You are like that second little child, that small child who calls out, like a child who cries for his mother. Here we have it. Please give me help. Please give me the necessary support. There is a wonderful statement about this, crying for help, in Srila Prabhupada's own language. It was the year 1977. He was in New York. The winter was very cold, and he had a few people who came to listen to him. And he said to them, "Now, here we have a Sanskrit word. Some of you do not know what is the meaning of Hare Krishna. Let me explain. This meaning of Hare Krishna, it is just addressing the Supreme Lord and his energy, Hara. Hara is the energy, and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So, this is Hare Krishna. We are addressing Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, the energy of the Lord. Oh, the Lord, please accept me. That's all. Please accept me. We have no other prayer. Please accept me." Lord Chaitanya taught that we should simply cry, and we shall simply pray for accepting us. That's all. So this vibration is simply a cry for addressing the Supreme Lord, requesting him, "Please accept me. Please accept me." It's about renovating a relationship. It's almost like we have broken a relationship and there's no one else to make responsible for this than us. And here we are again. We come back to the door which we have closed. We knock again. Please accept me in. There's a wonderful little story which I would like to share with you, which makes this mood of urgency very, very clear. You know, whenever Ram appears, Shiva appears as Hanuman, who always chants the name of Ram. Ram Duta Hanuman, the messenger of Ram, is always chanting. He is always absorbing his mind in the holy names. So once Hanuman heard that Lord Ram was reading a book, a big book, which had the names of all the devotees who never forget the names of Ram. So Hanuman thought, wow, that's interesting. He quickly went to the place where Ram was reading and asked him, Lord, my Lord, what book are you reading? And Ram said, well, I'm reading the names of all those devotees who constantly chant my name. Oh, said Hanuman, could I just see that book? And Ram said, yes, take the book. And Hanuman was going through the book very carefully, from the front page to the last page, expecting to find his name in that book. But he could not find a single mention of Hanuman. It was very sad and disappointed. Oh, said Ram, why are you so disappointed? Hanuman said, but I'm always chanting your name, Lord Ram, and I'm not in that book. Everyone knows that Hanuman constantly keeps himself alive by chanting the names of the Lord. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it's there, chapter 4 of the first part, text 50, he keeps himself alive. This is the life of Hanuman, by constantly hearing the glories of Lord Ram. Staying by the side of the Lord's deity, he's present even today with the same splendor as always. You know, when Ram left the planet, Hanuman was willing to bear the pain of separation by staying back and providing sweet recitations for the world of Lord Ramachandra's glories. So Hanuman stays near a permanently installed deity of Lord Ram in Kimpurusha Loka, and he regularly worships that deity, mostly by hearing about Lord Ram and chanting his glories. The Bhagavatam also mentions it, that Hanumanji constantly hears the glories with complete attention and chants the various mantras, no? Kasha virata parama bhagavato Hanuman sahakim purushera. Fifth canto. So Hanuman was thinking, everyone knows I'm only chanting and I'm not in the book of your devotee who chant. Then Ram said, I have a second book. In my second book, there are the names of the devotees which I never forget. The first book has the names of the devotees who never forget to chant, but the second name, which is second book, which is a little smaller, is the devotees whom Lord Ram never forgets. Can I see that book? Said Hanuman. And Hanuman opened the book, and then from the first page to the last page, there was only one name. Hanuman, 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 Hanuman. My dear devotees, it is good if you think of the Lord, but it is better when the Lord thinks of you. The Lord will think of each single devotee of His who chants the holy name in a particular way, in that way which the child chants the name of the mother, with some faith is there and some love. These two qualities there also in the Sattva Tantra, where Lord Shiva explains to Narada Muni, you need to chant with faith and with love. Once Krishna had a meeting with Arjuna, and he spoke about many confidential things in there, which made their way into the original Purana, the Adi Purana. And there Krishna reveals, O Arjuna, listen very carefully to what is in my heart. Those persons who sing my name and dance directly before me truly purchase me. Don't be surprised by what I tell you. Truthfully, those who sing my names and cry tears of longing purchase me, Janardana, completely. Except for these devotees, no one else can purchase me. This is the amazing power of chanting the holy name, not just in a normal way, but in a way with love and affection. Let me summarize again so that we will know where we are. Chanting is about entering a divine relationship, and for that we need help. In these sessions, the heart of the holy name, we want to establish faith and love as the two qualities which we need to develop. This comes by hearing about Krishna, by hearing about the chanting. And in this way, raising our awareness to a higher level. And that will help us when we sit down in the actual practice of chanting. We heard about Rama's two books. The devotees who think of him is one book, and the second book is about the devotees, or has names of the devotees, who the Lord thinks about. That happens when you are like that second child, the child who urgently calls with love and faith for the help. I would now like to go from here into the actual subject of today's session. Let the real me chant. If you want to chant properly, you have to overcome these inner obstacles. That is the identification with your body, which brings with it the impulses of the body, lust, attachments, greed, and so on. When the real you chants, you have to find the real me, or the real me, which is often covered by these material layers. the first rule preceding all other rules is really to come to this platform. Therefore, the last of the obstacles in chanting is to remain attached to the false me, to I and me in this world. Let us remember the wonderful meeting between Maharaj or King Prataparudra and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As we know, Maharaj Prataparudra wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like anything. It was the only thing which was of value for him. He said once, I would renounce my whole kingdom and become a beggar. Or I will renounce my whole kingdom and become a beggar if Lord Chaitanya does not agree to give me his darshan. This is how much he wanted to have the darshan. If he wouldn't get it, he would give up everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listened to him, but only when the king started to serve the devotees and then sweep before Lord Jagannath did Lord Chaitanya become more attentive. However, the king needed to do one more thing before he actually got the darshan. He needed to take off his crown, his royal garments. He needed to dress in the simple dress of a Vaishnava, indicating that he had freed himself from the identification with being the king. This is freedom from I and me, from the false ego. Only someone who does this comes to the real me. You need to stand before the Lord as the soul. My dear Lord, please accept me. I'm a part of you. I belong to you. But if you reject me, I have no standing. Maya accepts me, but I'm not a part of Maya. Maya runs after me, but I do not want her any longer. Maya deludes me. As long as this goes on, my chants are nowhere to be found. Only if you, my Lord, accept me and give me your mercy, then I'm again in my true position. Freedom from I and me is so important. Freedom from that which binds us. Freedom from that which the illusory energy imposes on us. Stand naked before the Lord. Stand naked like the gopis when they came freezing out of the Yamuna. Here the word naked does not mean any clothless nakedness. It means naked from the false ego, from the own will. When you chant, make absolutely sure that you are there as that second child, that helpless child. Haridas Thakur expresses this so beautifully in the Harinama Cintamani, where this freedom from this attachment to I and mine is described. It's the last of the 10 paradas, no? Aham mama bhava para. He says, I want to find this for you, that we should surrender this false attachment. And here he says, Ami kata, ami data, ami palayita. Ami kata means I'm the doer. Ami data, I'm the giver. Ami Palayita, I'm the protector. Renounce all this. Renounce all thoughts of I'm the doer, I'm the giver, I'm the protector. This is my body, this is my house, these are my children, this is my wife. I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Shudra, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a king, King Prataparudra. Ami Raja, I'm a subject. I'm the protector of my children. No, the surrendered soul rests his thoughts in Lord Krishna. Instead, he thinks Krishna is the doer. Only by Krishna's wish does someone become powerful. Krishna raye hoya icha tahe kariba nija icha nusara kichu nahi chintaba. Whatever Lord Krishna wishes, that is what I will do. I will not even think of following my own wishes. This is the attitude of someone who cries like the child. He has deliberately freed himself from the illusion of being the good sadhaka. I can do this on my own, or I do it like I do it every day. He has entered the crying party, which Lord Chaitanya leads, crying for mercy. If you are in that party, free from the attachments to the ahankara, then there is chance. When I sit down to chant, I deliberately or purposefully sit down not as the German, not as the leader of our little ashram. No. I don't sit down even as the old man. I sit down as the soul. As a soul desperately in need. And at that time, I definitely feel Lord Krishna's reciprocation. I feel I'm in that second book, if you so want, of the people of whom the Lord thinks. And then some taste comes which the world cannot give and also not take away. I would like to guide us all now into a little exercise where we train this. We will first chant japa together in this exercise and then end with kirtan. I will end at about Central European time. It will be 4:10 or 4:15. We will not have a question and answer part today, because I really want to focus on this practice. I will ask God Krishna to hand me my bibek, which is just there, and will now be able to give you an experience where you sit down in a best mood, in the best situation to chant, so that you can also enter this wonderful relationship. Remember the session which we have is today in the heart of the holy name. It's called Let the Real Me Chant. Admittedly, in this world, we are occupied with so many relationships. Relationships that often take us away from this one relationship. Our jobs, even our home office jobs, relationships to friends, to family, but also to the things which we do, and even to the things which we don't do, but which occupy our mind. Now, at one stage, all these types of relationships will go from us. They will go from us like the smoke of an incense stick leaves the room when the window is opened and the room is aired out. However, there's one relationship which was always there, that is always there, and that will always be there. That's the relationship to Krishna. That's the relationship which really deserves to get our entire attention. Now, in order to enter into that relationship, you have to give up your occupation with all these other little stories that run in your mind about other relationships. Don't worry, you will go back to them as long as you live, but you will go back with a heart full of Krishna. And that will give you the strength and the attractiveness to bring these relationships to a very spiritual platform. But Jiva Goswami says so nicely, the moment people are separate from Krishna, they take to the valley of tears. In the absence of Krishna, there is maybe not tears from the eyes, but tears of the soul. So we will do now something about this. I request you to sit down with spine erect wherever you are. If you drive a car, better to stop the car and go to a parking place. Open your shoulders by rolling them back. Tuck in your chin a little. We want to sit straight. And take with your hand your B-back. If you have no B-back available at the moment, no problem. Let us relax our legs up to the hip. We go from our feet to the knees, and then to our waist. Relax. Relax the upper body by first relaxing the spine and then the back, our chest, relax, our belly, relax, shoulders and arms, relax. Neck, back of the head, top of the head, relax. Forehead and eyes, relax. collarbone and jaw. Relax. Tongue. Relax. Let us take a few conscious breaths. In and out. Imagine you're all by yourself. Let everything that is going on in your life gently slip away. Your relationships gone. Your job gone. Your important responsibilities gone. Your desires for the future gone. You're absolutely free. Remember that in your truest being, you are the eternal soul. You are actually a servant of Radha and Krishna. It is only due to some misfortune that you have been absent in that relationship. But your fortune has turned. You have come in contact with genuine spiritual knowledge. You have learned about your real identity as a pure spirit soul, completely separate from the external body and the mind and its many thoughts. You have become inspired to take up chanting the holy names of the Lord. Let us now take our japa and for a short time chant all together the Mahamantra as a group, slowly, and then on our own. Please chant in the same tonality. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The idea is let the me, let the real me chant. And the real me is covered, just like the inside of an onion is covered by layers after layers after layers of that vegetable. So when we chant, we have to come to the soul position. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Aye Nanda Tanuya, I'm your eternal servant. Somehow or other I have gotten lost here in this material world, but I request you to again accept me, bring me to the safe shelter of your lotus feet. So I request you now to stay in this space, and when we will chant together one round in this sacred space of all of us joining the japa mandala, the circle of chanters of the holy name. And I can guarantee you, if we all give our best to chant from this space, independent of the wrong layers of I and mine, there will be a response. Let us start now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If we could only learn to arrive at the place of purity, the place of being where we are not affected, so to say, by what is external to us, then our spiritual life would have there would be a miracle happening. Let the real me chant. It can also mean let the not real me, the false me, be silent. Chanting is best done in the morning hours, when we are not yet so active in our various activities. Chanting should be done following the ways of the great devotees who are always remembered by the Lord, who live in a reciprocal relationship, who are lifted out of this material, all these material influences, which can be quite disturbing at times when we meet our karma, the karma of others. It can be quite disturbing, but therefore, the chanting gives us an ability to just exit this play of the gunas, the play of the material forces, the waves of samsara. And it really is best done with a fresh mind. Therefore, I would recommend to all of you to find an undisturbed time, preferably in the early morning, when the world is still asleep and your normal life is still asleep, and then give that the time for the most important relationship. Renovate the relationship. I like this word which Prabhupada used in our quotation, which we use today. Make it new, re-establish it, like an old broken house which is renovated to come back to its original function. In the same way, our relationship needs to be renovated. We will end chanting kirtan now for another 7 minutes or so, and then we will conclude today's session. I would suggest we sing the Vashana melody. Krishna and myself, we have a certain language by which we identify the melodies. So sit again down as your real, as the real me. And then turn in your mind to that one relationship, which fortunately is always there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much, and I would like to leave you with a practice that you could do until the next Heart of the Holy Name in exactly 1 month. The practice is this. When you sit down to chant, make sure that you come from a place where you're connected with your essence, with your true nature, with your truest being, so to say. And this can be done in one of two ways. The neti-neti process, and that doesn't work so well, but it is relevant, to let things go from your life which cover that essential true nature. But an even more powerful method is the second method, where you consciously bring to your mind the knowledge that I'm really part of Krishna. I'm the life force in this body. I'm the underlying me, under all this thought traffic, so to say, this noisy thought traffic which goes on up here. Much like a person who lives in a house and who looks through the window and sees cars passing by, you are there who can observe your thought traffic if you just step back a little bit into your true nature. I'm a part of God. I'm a part of the Lord. And then address Him from that place. Let us do this for 1 month, and then we will go in our little Holy Name University a step further. But for now, thank you very much. I wish you a very good time chanting that the holy name from that place of your true nature, your true self, and see you soon again.
Hare Krishna.